Hi, in this picture I'm going to edit this picture here so that it gives it, to give it a more creative crop, to concentrate the emotion just on the two faces here rather than um, all the information that's going on in this image here. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to match up the color of the skin of the baby and the mum. And I know that I have the picture in the final one in black and white, but I'd like to show a color one of this to the mum as well. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to run in one of the editing actions one called a little warmth. And once I've done that, I'm just going to click on the mask layer there and press Ctrl I to invert it, because I only want to paint that over the baby. And it's set to be quite strong, just so that you can lower the opacity if you want. Okay, so I think this baby's head was more similar color to the mum than the rest of the body, so I'll just lower the opacity of that warmth and just for the head. So now that they're both the same color, I'm going to duplicate my layer, and I'm just going to run a very little bit of liquify here on just under her chin. And the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to freeze the air. I just don't want any of this to move, so I'm just going to freeze it with that tool there. And then with the liquify tool, I'm just going to bring her chin up a little bit. And you just have to make sure that the chin is in a nice smooth line. Okay. So by keeping the second layer, you can see a before and after. And if you're happy, you can merge that down. And I'm also going to use the patch tool just to tidy this up a little bit here. And I'm going to run the skin smoothing action. And at 100%, smooth some of the skin. And once I've done that and I'm happy with the opacity of it, I'm going to, I'll just rub some on her arm here. Okay, and then I'm going to lower the opacity of that just a little bit. And because I'm going to be focusing in up on the face, I'm going to run the eye define action and go over her eyelashes and the baby's eye and mouth. Okay. So the way that I'm going to crop it is I'm trying to make sure that there are no limb chops. So I want to keep her ear in. I want to try and avoid getting his fingers in, so that you would just see a little tiny bit, because that's not what I want. And so I think that's all the necessary details. Okay, so we have a nice close-up of their two faces together. And I'm going to use my fresh black and white conversion. So once I play that, it's quite a high contrast conversion. So if you go into the levels and you press Alt, you can see the black areas there are the areas that are going to be clipped, that they've no color information in them at all. So what I'm going to do on that levels layer is I'm going to get my black paintbrush, and I'm going to paint over the areas that I can remember that were very dark. And I'm going to bring some of that contrast that I put in back out. So we still have that extra little bit of contrast without clipping. Now, all the black and white conversions have this warm layer in them, which you can take off if you prefer not to have that slightly warmish look to it, or you can leave it on if you like it. And I'm also going to resize for the web. So when you run resize, it comes up as screen resolution 72, which is good for the web, and then whichever width and height you usually have your images at for either your blog or Facebook or forums, you just type that in there and press OK, and that gives it a little sharpening as well. And there's a more creative crop for that image.